When I first started using AI for my YouTube channel, I didn't just use one AI tool. I used 5: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and one called Manus, because I was convinced that was the one that was going to change everything. And the thing is, I didn't do this because I was trying to be clever. I did it because I genuinely didn't trust any single AI tool to give me the right answer. So I'd ask all 5 the same question, and then I would sit there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out which one was actually correct. And if you have ADHD like I do, you'll know this is basically just an endless research rabbit hole which you never come back from. So I stopped using 4 of them and I rebuilt my entire content system with just 1 of them. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I built, how it works, and how you can build something similar. So in case you're sitting there wondering who I am and why you should even listen to me, I've spent the past 9 years making YouTube videos. I have done everything from gaming videos to Pokemon card openings. I've made multiple faceless AI YouTube channels. I went all in on every single one of them. I stuck with them for a few months and then I got completely distracted and moved on to something else. I was diagnosed with ADHD last year at the age of 30, and that's when everything started to make more sense to me. The inconsistency, the shiny object syndrome, and the constant burnout. So I built something that actually works with my ADHD instead of against it. And if you're also an ADHD creator that just feels completely overwhelmed by all the AI tools out there, I've put together a free AI toolkit for you. It has ADHD friendly prompts that help you with everything from coming up with video ideas to scripting and film your videos, all without burning out. It's completely free. Links down below. All right, so let's talk about the problem here, because I was using 5 AI tools to give me one answer to every question I had. Because I didn't trust one answer, I wanted to cross-reference all of the answers that every AI tool gave me, and I ended up using the different AI tools to basically tell me which of them had the best answer, but each of them gave me a different answer.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
It was essentially a never-ending cycle of overanalyzing everything just to get one single answer. So I started with ChatGPT because it's the most familiar and most people use this, but I found that it gave me generic information and nothing ever felt tailored to my specific situation. Even when I tried creating custom GPTs, it just didn't give me the same results as other AI tools did. So eventually I stopped paying for it. I tried Gemini for a few months. I know that Google have some of the best AI tools out there right now, so I was quite excited when I added Gemini to the mix, right? But I don't actually use a lot of the Google ecosystem, and honestly, when I use it for deep research, it took so long. I literally asked it to do deep research. I had to go away for half an hour and then come back.
One eternity later.
It just wasn't for me. Perplexity, I'm not going to lie, I love Perplexity. I love the research side of it. It's probably the most accurate AI tool out there in terms of research, but it's more of a research assistant than an everyday assistant, which is why I stopped using it so much. Claude was completely different to all of the other AI tools. The minute I started using Claude to help me with my scripts for YouTube videos, I could just tell that this AI tool was just in a different league, and I knew this would be the one that I came to rely on the most. I just didn't know how.
Have been chosen.
But here's what was actually happening. Every time I had a question, I would open all 5 AI tools. I would get 5 different answers. And then instead of just creating content, I would spend the next 30 minutes trying to decide which one was right, because I felt like I needed all of the information before going forwards and making a decision on something. That's not actually an AI tool problem. That's an ADHD problem. Decision fatigue is real, and it's really difficult for people with ADHD. Research shows that ADHD brains are actually super sensitive to choice overload. So when we're faced with too many options, our prefrontal cortex, which is already underperforming, it struggles even more to analyze everything and make a decision. The problem wasn't actually any individual AI tool. The problem was that none of them had the context they needed about me and what I was trying to build with this YouTube channel. And then I started using Claude projects, and I don't mean just opening Claude and typing a random question. I mean actually building dedicated spaces inside Claude with custom instructions with context about my channel, my audience, my tone of voice, so it already knew what I was trying to do before I even typed a single word out. All right, so let's take a look at the system that I've actually managed to build with Claude. So I've got one dedicated project in Claude for everything to do with my YouTube channel, and inside that I've built individual chats that each have a specific job. They all share the same project knowledge, stuff like my brand voice, my audience, my channel goals, but each chat is focused on just one part of my content creation process. So we've got my idea ignition chat. This is where every one of my videos starts. It has my channel context, my recent video history, and it knows what I've already made on the channel. I usually use vidIQ to do outlier research, but Claude recently built a direct plugin for vidIQ, which makes life way easier. I can literally just do the outlier research within Claude now, which is great. It will see what is doing well in the ADHD AI tools and content creation spaces, and it will give me the 3 best video ideas for me to start working on next. So essentially, I'm not just sitting here staring at a blank page wondering what video idea to work on next. I've then got my title tactician, which takes the video idea and it gives me the best options for the video title. I've uploaded a Excel spreadsheet with all of the best proven formats for YouTube titles. It analyzes that. It gives me the best title, which is like the most emotionally engaging, under 70 characters, so you can see the full title, SEO optimized. It will give me a few options and then I can just pick the one I like the most. I then pass it on to my thumbnail thinker. This is one of my favorites, so I have set this up to come up with the 3 best thumbnail ideas for each YouTube video, but it's specifically trained on something called the unthumbnail method. So essentially, my biggest aim with my thumbnails is to make them as authentic and raw as possible, because that's essentially where I want my channel to be heading towards. I want my videos to feel as authentic as possible to build as much of a connection with my audience. So I kind of try and stay away from the overly polished AI generated type thumbnails. I've also created a thumbnail template in Canva. So essentially it will just tell me what I need to tweak in terms of the image of me, the words on the right hand side of the screen. Now my thumbnails take me less than 10 minutes to make, which is a massive time saver. Once I've done the title and the thumbnails, I will move on to the script outlines. So this is probably the chat that I rely on the most. It takes the idea, the title, and any research that I give to it, and it builds me a full script outline. I used to spend hours writing and reading my scripts word for word, and I mean hours. I could spend anywhere from 3 to 5 hours just tweaking every single word in a script to make it sound as authentic as it would if I were to read it on camera. The problem was that it took way too long, it stressed me out way too much, and when I did then eventually, read everything word for word on camera, I'd be looking down here at the screen, I wouldn't be looking up here, and I just sounded robotic, like everything was pre-planned. There was nothing really authentic about me speaking like that. So I've now set it up so the script sculptor chat essentially takes the video idea, all of the context on the video, and it builds me like a perfect hybrid template. So the call to action is scripted word for word, because obviously that is the most important part of a video. Then it breaks the video down into different sections and it just gives me the main highlights or the bullet points that I can riff off and talk more authentically and naturally from my own opinions, experiences. But here's the thing that most people miss. It's not just that each chat does a specific job, it's that they all share the same brain. So every chat in my creator compass already knows who I am, what my channel is about, who I'm making content for, and what I've already made. I just open the chat, I say what I need, and it already has everything it needs to help me. For someone with ADHD, where context switching is one of the biggest problems we face, that makes a massive difference, and it helps me to stay way more consistent at making YouTube videos. And look, I want to be completely honest with you guys here. I'm not just using this system to be more productive. I'm trying to use it to help me work with my brain instead of against it. Before I had this set up, I was using 5 different AI tools. I was just going back and forth between them, and then I was just sitting here wondering why I couldn't actually get anything done. That's a system that was just designed to fail someone with ADHD. Just using one AI tool, having this one setup in Claude, is so helpful for me with my ADHD. I have one login, one tool, one setup that removes the mental load of switching between different AI tools. The context is already there, so I can literally just jump into Claude and just pick up from where I left off. And Also, it just saves a lot of money, right? Instead of paying for 5 different AI tools, I'm just paying £18 a month for the pro plan on Claude, which is definitely worth it considering the amount of times Claude has helped me out, not just with YouTube stuff, but with my journal, helping me process my emotions and thoughts, and just generally day-to-day life, right? So I've now managed to post 1 long-form YouTube video over the past 6 months. That's not me just relying on motivation. That's the system doing its job. So if you're currently juggling a load of different AI tools and wondering why your content just isn't consistent, the answer probably isn't that you need a better AI tool. It's just that you need fewer tools working together in one place. But building this setup in Claude has genuinely changed the way I create content. And not because Claude is some magical AI tool that will fix everything, right? But because having one system in one place that already has everything it needs to know about me, it removes every single excuse that I could possibly have to sit down and start making videos. And if you want a head start on building your own setup, then don't forget to grab that free AI toolkit I mentioned earlier, links down below. And if you want to find out why having ADHD actually gives you an unfair advantage on YouTube, then check out this video next.